everyone, I am Sanjay Kumar Pradhan, first rank holder in Agriculture Entomology in ICAR-SRF 2019. I belong to the state of Odisha. I did my undergraduation from OUT Bhubaneswar from 2013 to 17. In ICAR-SRF I got 7th rank and I got a seat at University of Agriculture Sciences, GKVK Bangalore. So recently in the ICAR-SRF exam I got first rank and I am continuing forward for my PhD. So today I would like to thank Bipin sir for giving me an opportunity to share my views, my strategies. I hope it will be helpful for the upcoming batches. So today in this video I will be discussing about the exam patterns, the strategies that you need to follow, the books that you need to follow. So I hope these things will be helpful for the students who are appearing for the SRF exam in entomology. Coming back to the exam pattern, so there are 180 questions of subjective, that is crop protection 2 portions. In that one there is 4 subjects, that is entomology, plant pathology, nematology and agrochemicals, and there are 20 questions will be from general agriculture. So all the sections are very much important and you have to give utmost attempt in all the aspects, all the subjects, so that you can expect a good rank in that one. So I will tell in briefly and all in details also to some portions that you need to focus more, so that because from that portions usually most of the questions are coming. So I hope it will be helpful for you. Coming to the strategies that you need to follow, because if you see the all the research works, thesis writing and all the exam will be coinciding at last, so it will be very difficult for you to manage the time and seeing the vastness of the syllabus. Both if you can see that entomology is very vast syllabus, along with that pathology is very vast, nematology, agrochemicals. So it is very difficult for as I know, for students to complete all the syllabus along with the coursework or the curriculum they have in their universities. So you have to be very precise enough in your management of time, and you have to make your own time, your own strategies to prepare for this SRF. So I'll tell my strategies, how I got a good rank, that is a dream rank I can say. So if I'll see during my research work, I did some molecular works, and in that case I got in SRF I got around 8 to 10 questions from molecular aspects. So I could attend those questions and it's a boon for me, I can say. And coming back to the agrochemicals questions, earlier I was preparing for CSIR net exam. So in that case I read some portions just like chromatography methods, spectroscopy methods, microscopes, all these things are coming in the CSIR net books. So as I have prepared earlier, so it was quite helpful for me to attempt those questions, and that makes the difference in the ranks. So these are the small contributions that I have read earlier that helped me in getting a good rank. So you have to be very thorough in all the subjects to get a good rank. Not only you don't have to focus only one subject, you have to be thorough in all the subjects at least, so that you can try to attend as much as questions in this total question to 200 questions, so that you can get a good rank. Coming back to the books that you need to follow, I know because if you'll see the vastness is of the crop science 2 course section is very high. All the course subjects are very vast syllabus, having very vast syllabus. So in that case I'll recommend some basic books that at least you need to follow those books. So coming back to the entomology portion, the basic books that for a beginner you have to go through the Elements of Economic Entomology by David and Ramamurthy book. It's a very good book and very precisely it has been given there. You have to cover whole of the book there. Then coming to the second book, that is Handbook of Entomology by Sai Prasad. It's a very good book and it will be helpful for you. Then third book is Insecta part 1 and part 2. Then Applied Entomology by D.S. Reddy, Entomology Refresher by K. Kumar, and Insecticide Toxicology by H.C.L. Gupta. It's a very good book, and here if you will see there is a chapter called called insect residues and resistance management. In that portion there is also mention of chromatographic methods and insecticide residues. So usually as I have read that book, from that book I got around 3 to 4 questions from that portion. So it was quite helpful for you for both entomology and agrochemicals point of view. And coming to the objective books, usually I won't recommend any objective books, because if you see nowadays in most of the objective books there will be many wrong questions and the wrong answer, so it will misguide the student. In case if you are following any objective books, I can go for Objective Entomology by T. Prasad and some other books just like an Objective Entomology by Bagde Power, SB Sai Prasad. So these are some books you can follow, but in case you are getting any doubt in any questions and the wrong answer is there, so you can refer that questions in some standard books, so that you can rectify yourself and you should not be remembering the wrong answer. So it will be helpful for you if you are doing the objective questions and objective books. Coming to some standard books you need to follow in entomology, the first and foremost book that is very good that I have followed, and that is the Physiological Systems in Insects by Mark J. Clouden. It's a very good book, and the languages are very simple, and it has been meticulously it has described everything, and you can cover it within less time also, because it's very good book. You can go through that one. Coming to the second book, the standard book, that is IPM by Dhaliwal Arora. It's a very good book, and you can cover the IMS general textbook, volume 1 and volume 2. Usually you can cover at least volume 1. It comprises all the morphological aspects and the physiological aspect. So it's a very good book. At least you should cover volume 1 if your time permits. And in case of insect structure and function by R.F. Chapman, in that book you need to be very selective, and you should focus on some selected portions only. No need to cover whole of the book. In that case you can go for nervous system and embryology portions, and wings and legs portion. These are very important portions. You can go through that book, and no need to cover whole of the books. And coming to the last book that I would recommend, that is Insect Physiology and Anatomy by Pant and Ghai. It's a very good book by it's a IRA publication. So at least you can go through that, and it is very everything is given very briefly and very precisely. It has been covered whole of the physiological aspects. Coming to the nematology books, the first and foremost book that everyone needs to start is Introductory Nematology by Walia and Bajaj. So it's a very good book, and everything has been given in that one, and usually you can expect all the questions from that book. So you have to cover the book completely and thoroughly, and you should remember the exceptions in the nematodes and so it's a very handy book. You can go through that one. Second book is Nematology at a Glance by Manjunath and Srinivas. It's a very small book, and it comprises both subjective portion and objective portions, and there are also some wrong answers are also there, so you just cross check it with some standard books and just make rectification. And book, because it also comprises some important points that is not present in Walia and Bajaj, so it will be helpful for you. Coming to the objective book, that is in nematology, that is Guide on Nematology by Sunanda and Siddiqui. So it's a good book. Means a good book in the sense it is having large number of questions. In that case there are also some wrong answers are also there, so in that case you have to that's what I told, you have to cross check. But on an average you can say there are a few exceptions that is present in the objective portions that you have to remember, that is you can expect some questions from that portion. Coming to the pathology portions, it's a vast syllabus is there, and means you have to cover at least once the whole syllabus that is present in that one as per the syllabus. So in plant pathology, the first and foremost that is important book, that is Plant Pathology at a Glance by Utpal Kumar Bhattacharya. It's a very handy book, and if you see, it comprises the means all the chapter section wise bacteriology, virology, and bacterial phylogeny and fungi that is mycology portions and also are there. So chapter wise it has been given, and it's a very good book, and every year the direct questions are coming from that book. So first and foremost you have to follow that book only. Then coming to the subjective books, in Plant Pathology, A Competitive Vision by Satvinder Man and Kang, It's a very good book, and at least you should cover that one. Coming to the important objective book that I can say in plant protection portions, that is plant protection by S.B. Sai Prasad. It comprises around 4,000 to 5,000 questions. It comprises entomology, pathology, and nematology. So on an average, if you see every year, direct questions are coming from that book. So at least you should cover those books at least, so that you can expect some direct questions, so that you can attend that one. So these are the books that is covered in the plant pathology portion. Coming to the general agriculture questions, usually if you'll see from the static portions, usually very less questions will be asked. So for that static portions, you need to cover general agriculture by Nematology Sunda. And but I'll recommend for the most important book that is in general agriculture is Current Affairs by New Visual Publication. Usually the recent new edition will come during the month of March or February or March. So that book is a very good book, and all the recent information have been given briefly, so that if you read that one, so because this time also, if you'll see some important recent questions, recent developments that has been asked in the general agriculture portion, all the things are there in that current affairs book. So it's a very good book. At least the recent edition or the latest edition, you have to purchase that one during the month of February, March, and you just go through that one. So it will be quite handy for you for going to the SRF exam. Coming to the agrochemicals, if I'll say, I have not followed any standard books in agrochemicals. As I have mentioned earlier, in agrochemicals, the most important portion is chromatography method and residue analysis. This is the most important portion. You will get many questions from that one. At least around 15 to 20 questions will be, you can expect, because as the pattern is changing, but you can expect at least 15 to 20 questions every year from at least from this chromatography method and residue analysis. So for that reason, what I did, as I was having the lack of time. So what I did, I saw the syllabus, and the whatever is there in the syllabus, I just searched it in Google, and also I have referred some standard books. Just like I told, I have read some CSIR books, CSIRnet books. So in that case, I have covered the chromatography and residual analysis portions from this CSIRnet book, and also from SCL Gupta book. So it was very handy for me to attend those questions, because around 20 questions, 15 to 20 questions were there this time, and I could attend that. That makes the difference. So coming back to the strategies that you need to follow. Now you know that usually there is variation in the number of questions that is coming in different subjects. As we have four major among the crop protection too, we have four subjects, that is entomology, pathology, nematology, and agrochemical. So usually from nematology and pathology, you can expect 60 questions. So it is 120, and from nematology and agrochemicals, you can expect 30 questions. So it will be totally 180. So next 20 is general agriculture. So every portion is important to get a good rank. It's not that you have to focus only one portion. So at least you should cover all the syllabus before the exam, at least once, so that at least if something is there in mind, you can attend those tricky questions or the difficult questions. That makes the difference. So if I'll tell now, so you have to take the calculated risk in the exam. It's not that, suppose just per se you have 200 questions. So out of 200 questions, 100 question is easy. That means those who are prepared little bit also, they can attend all the questions. So in that case, that 100 question will not give you the rank. Next 100 questions, out of that 100 questions, if around 30 questions suppose are very difficult, it's very hard to attend by any student. And if you can take some calculated risk, suppose just for say I'm telling, there are totally 30 questions are there, that is very difficult to attend by any student, though it may be from pathology or entomology. So in that case, you have to take calculated risk. You have to muster up all the knowledge you have gained throughout your life, means if you can say by from 10th to 12th, and from graduations also, and from masters also. And you have to muster up all the knowledge, and to try to give 50-50 options. Means try to link the question to the options that you have, so that at least if you can get some link in that one, so that you can go for it. At least don't leave it. If you are leaving, then you are in the crowded area. That means suppose you are attending only 100 questions, telling that no, I don't know other portions, then those 100 questions that will be attended by all. So your rank will not, you will be in the crowded area, all people will be there. Suppose if you are attend from that 30 questions that is difficult for all, suppose just for say I am telling, out of 30 questions you attend all, suppose just for say you attend all 30 questions, and by good luck if you get 10 questions also correct, then you will get 40 marks, 10 into 4. So out of 40, then you just deduct 20 marks also by the wrong answer. So those 20 marks that is surplus for you, that makes huge difference in the rank facility, because all will be in the crowded area and you will be one step forward. So in that case, that will make the difference in getting good college and a good rank. So that should be your strategy. You should take the calculated risk in the exam, and it should not be a hectic or haphazard guess. It should be calculated risk, and I'll tell how you should approach the questions in the exam. First and foremost, when as I have felt always in JRF time also, in SRF time also, I was in complete nervousness. What will be happening further? Will I get any A seat or not? So these pressures will be there obviously for, I think, for all. And during the first 1 hour, it is very difficult for it's difficult to attend all the questions, because your mind will not be stable enough. So first, what you will do, you make your time to 3 stages. So first round, you attend all those questions which you know 100% correctly, so that at least suppose there are 200 questions and you take 30 minutes or 1 hour to complete first round, and you click all the answers that you know 100% correctly, so that after completion of first round you will just get to know how many questions you have made correct, that is 100% correct. No, there will be no negative in that one. Suppose just per se out of 200 questions you have made 100 questions correct in the first round, next 100 questions are there. So out of that you have to attend as much as possible to get a good rank. So in that case, what will happen, those questions which you find a little bit confusion between the options in the first round, those you keep it for second round, and just go after 1 hour. If you means you are getting stabilized to the environment, then you can think of for a while which one is the most appropriate answer in that out of 2 or out of 3, whatever may be. So in that way you attend the second round, complete as much as possible you can. Then those which are still difficult, you keep it for third round. So if you will see for SRF exam, 3 hours is more than enough, I can say, because usually people will complete within 1 hour, mostly first round and second round, like that. And now there is no bubbling and all these things, so there will be no issue. All the exams are online now, so it's very helpful, because usually for bubbling there will be their time taking for 15-20 minutes, and there is a chance for frame shift also. So it's if you'll see this strategy, you need to follow phase wise. You have to go round wise you have to go, so that you should have some suppose after first round completion you would have got the knowledge what is the level of question, level of difficulty of the question paper. So that suppose if you have prepared good enough, then you can imagine that in all over India, those who are studying or appearing the SRF exam, they have if suppose a question is difficult for you, then it is difficult for all. So those difficult questions will give you the rank, not the easy question. Be careful in that one. So in that case, you have to attend those difficult questions as much as possible. Let it you can afford, suppose just for say correct answer there is one question, for one correct answer there is 4 marks, for the one wrong answer there is deduction of 1 mark. So if just for say it is 4:1 ratio, you can afford, suppose just for say if you have made correct 1 and you have made correct 3 wrong 3, so you are still in 1 surplus mark. That will must means that will gather at last, and it will give, suppose if you are getting 20 marks surplus also, it is very handy in getting the ranks, and that will make you different from the crowded area to a single standard area, so that you can get a good rank and good college. So this is the strategy what I have followed. So it will be helpful for you in following further. So coming to subject portions in entomology, if I'll say as I was preparing earlier for IRA entrance, PhD entrance, so at that time I have covered all the standard books, whatever I have mentioned, and all the basic books. So during last 1 month of my before the exam of SRF, I have not studied for the entomology, because my strategy is that, because other people may not cover the vastness of the syllabus, that is pathology and nematology and chemicals. So I targeted those areas which will be difficult for others, and I have read apart from means without reading entomology, last 1 month completely I have devoted to pathology, nematology and agrochemicals. I know I can attend entomology portion anyhow, because I have that residual knowledge whatever I have from earlier studies, so I can attend. So why should I waste my time in reading this one again? So you should be very keen enough to choose your strategies as per your time availability and all. So in that way you have to plan accordingly and cover whole, at least once you have to cover the syllabus. So in entomology persons, usually those who are prepared well in JRF time also, and also in masters also they are doing, so they have on an average some basic knowledge, they can attend that one. So I should not go in detail about entomology persons. To coming to the nematology persons, in nematology you have to be very thorough in the morphological aspect first. Those cuticle structures, what is the different more exceptions are there in that case. Is the most important thing is nematode extraction techniques. In that one, this Walia and Bajaj book, Introductory Nematology by Walia and Bajaj, it's a very good book. In the recent recent edited book only, it is available, so you can just go through that one. And also in the Nematology at a Glance by Manjunath and Srinivas, this is given very meticulously. Suppose just cob sieving method, in that case under different mesh size which nematodes will be filtered out. So these are given in the Manjunath books. So this is a very important chapter, and from this you every year you can expect at least 3, 4, 5 questions, and if you will read it and you can attend all these questions. And coming to the second important portion, that is the interaction of nematodes along with other organisms. It may be virus, it may be bacteria, it may be fungus, it may be insect. From that chapter, you will completely expect that there will be 3 to 5 questions every year. So it's a very important questions. You have to go through it properly. And the important, suppose there are some nematode resistant varieties there. So to different nematodes, that is very important. Some important economical important nematodes only, that you need to cover only that, so no need to remember all the nematodes in that case. Coming to the economic nematode portions, only most important thing is the exceptions. Suppose anybody having rose thorn shaped spicule, somebody having ring like appearance in the cephalic region. These are the exceptions that is given in the economic nematology portions. The second part of the Walia and Bajaj book, that is very important. Only exceptions you at least cover, so that you can go through that, and you can attend some questions. So coming to the this is the major important things that is you need to cover in the nematology portion, because nematology you can expect around 30 questions from that one. Coming to the pathology, it's a very important chapter, because the question number will be around 60s. If you will see the pattern this year in 2019 SRF, the pattern has been little bit changed. There were less questions in entomology and more questions were there from agrochemicals and pathology. So those who have scored answered more questions in pathology, in that case only they, I hope they would have got the rank, because entomology questions were very easy, everybody had attended that one. So and usually in pathology the first and foremost important thing is the classification fungus and bacteria and virus. It is very good, meticulously and very precisely it has been mentioned in the plant pathology at a glance by Utpal Bhattacharya. At the last you can see with some appendix it has been given. At least before the exam, at least go through this one, and there will be some questions from that one. And coming to the pathology molecular aspects, the recent advancements and the molecular aspects, you will be getting around minimum 10 to 50 questions in that one. So it's very good if you can read some life sciences book, so it will be helpful for you to get some additional knowledge. Coming to the Other portions in pathology, it is techniques in plant pathology, so the microscopes and whatever the techniques they are using in the plant pathology. From that one you can expect some around 5 to 10 questions. So these are the important portions from where you can expect at least 5 to 10 questions. So if you cover this portion at least, so you can attend, I can assure that you can attend around 30 to 40 questions in that one. So it is a huge, if you can because if you will see usually after undergraduation or the after third year of the undergraduation, usually in people, I mean, entomology students are not in touch with the pathology person. So it is difficult for all, I can say, in all over India, because they are not in touch with that one. So keeping that advantage, if you can attend some additional questions, and because it's very hard for student to cover all the syllabus in pathology within limited time. So it's if you can at least cover at least once, and you then if you can attend some questions taking risk and all a difficult question, it will be very boon for you to get a good rank, and it will give you, it will take you more away from the crowded areas. So it's my sincere request, at least focus on the pathology portions more, because the questions will be coming more in these pathology portions. Coming to the general agriculture portions that I have mentioned, you have to follow the current affairs. In agrochemicals, as I mentioned, you have cover the residue analysis method and the chromatographic methods. It is very important chapters, and you can expect at least 5 to 10 questions from the portion. So these are the important chapters you need to focus at least to get, because every year as you can see that questions are coming from this portion. So apart from that, you can read other if you are getting time, you can see read some other standard books also available online also, and it will be just you can say, you can, it will increase your knowledge and it will give you more confidence while attending the exam. So this is the full strategies, so what I have followed during my preparation, and these things help me quite a lot, because strategy is very important, and you should be strategic enough to attend any exam, not for this SRF or any other. So in that case, you, for anything you need prepare a strategy. You see what is the time limit available to you, and accordingly you have to plan, and you have to cover all the syllabus in due course of time, so that you will get enough time for revision also, because revision is very much important, and last 1 month study is very much important. Whatever you study in the early years also, it doesn't affect much, but if you will study for 1 month completely and dedicatedly, getting some extra time from your research works and other extra curricular activities, whatever you have, then it will be very helpful for you to attend the questions, because whatever maybe you are reading on the early years, you might not be remembering all the things, but last 1 month study is very crucial. You should be very judgmental in means giving the preference which is most important. Just suppose you are having thesis or work or research work, then you make extra time and complete all the work in time, and give at least more time to your preparation. So because, and also nowadays the fellowship has been hiked, and if you see the competition level, it is quite tough for nowadays, and from next year onwards there will be no IRA PhD entrance, so it will be a great chance for you all to get into IRA through your deserving power. So I wish you all the best, and I hope my video and my strategies will be helpful for you further, and if somebody can follow the strategy, then it's well and good, and if they can prepare their own strategies which they are comfortable, that will be also good for them also. So thank you all. Jai Jagannath.